E para você que está vendo esse vídeo no canal de Cortes, nesse exato momento, as lives vão para Kik na segunda-feira. O link vai estar na descrição. Já segue lá para acompanhar a gente.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul, aka
Modo Treta.
I'm Andre, also known as Meddler.
Today is April 1st, and we're back to talk to you all about some of our plans for Season 2.
Modo
Now, if you haven't seen the
Treta.
2 cinematics, you should probably pause now and go watch them, because we will be referring to them a number of times in this video.
Okay, if you're still here, let's talk spoilers. Last season, we watched everyone's favorite Noxian frenemies, LeBlanc and Vladimir, plan, plot, and scheme. Now we're headed to Ionia to find the powerful weapon they've been seeking. But we're not just going to Ionia. We're arriving just in time for the bloom of the rare Spirit Blossom flowers and the Ionian festival that celebrates them.
Spirit Blossom is one of our favorite thematics, and based on what we've heard from you over the years, it's one of yours too. Also importantly though, it's a canon event in Runeterra, meaning that the festival takes place in Ionia with each bloom. Now with each season, we set out to create distinct thematic experiences that touch almost every aspect of League, from gameplay to skins,
vai mudar o mapa?
a new champion, to a metagame, for example.
So for Season 2 of
Meta.
2025, we'll be
Pera aí, eles vão mudar o meta baseado na
A new
temática
champion
do jogo?
To a metagame, for example.
So for Season 2 of 2025, we'll be continuing to refine our approach with many of these things and a few other surprises further out.
We do want to save bigger, more disruptive Summoner's Rift gameplay changes for
Ah, o
the start,
minigame, tá.
and then tune and iterate on those changes throughout the year so that we're providing a more stable and competitive experience. That means for Season 2 this time, for example, we're putting our focus a bit elsewhere, a lot of it on game modes this time. We do, though, have some meaningful Summoner's Rift changes coming this season still, and we're going to hand over to Riot Froxon now.
Oh, o
Walk you through
Froxon,
those
eu
next.
sigo ele no Twitter.
Hey everyone, today I want to talk a bit about the Summoner's Rift gameplay changes that
Okay.
are coming at the start of Season 2.
Buff no Singed.
We've heard your concerns about objective overload.
Legal.
So we have some changes that should help find a healthy balance, in addition to a few other adjustments we have coming for Spirit Blossom. First up, Articon. In Season 1, we made changes to Articon's 2 forms, so you would see Voracious less often than Ruinous. And while we saw a good initial reaction to this change, we still saw some frustration around how often Voracious Articon spawns in pro games and how game warping his buff is. So in Season 2, we're getting rid of Voracious Articon, and he'll have only one form.
Pera. O atacante da GA vai morrer, tipo, vai sumir, e agora só vai ter uma forma do atacante, o atacante aprisionado.
Thornbound. While he won't look different from Ruinous Articon, he will have adjusted rewards. In addition to the Bloody Roses, the team who kills Articon receives all unclaimed roses on the map, and all of their Bloody Petals
Wow.
are purified into Spirit Petals, which grant 25% increased effect.
Uau! Uau! Caralho! Cara, tipo assim, só pra vocês entenderem, o atacante de GA, ele era forte no começo. Hoje, ele é tipo ok. O das rosas, ele raramente aparece no competitivo por conta de como é a mecânica, né? Pra ele aparecer, tem que ter muita troca de dano e tal, o competitivo tem menos. Mas ele é mais forte, todo mundo sabe que ele é mais forte, tá ligado?
Additionally, the team will also get a spiritual purification buff for the rest of the game that slows and damages nearby enemies on champion kill, which we think will be a more satisfying effect. Outside of Articon, we also have some adjustments for the Void objectives based on feedback we've seen around objectives driving game pacing, especially before the 20-minute mark. First, we're changing Void grubs to spawn a single time, which will be a bit later in the game. This should allow everyone to focus more on laning and ganking, rather than prioritizing early objectives. We're also moving the Rift Herald's spawn time up to 15 minutes, and making it generally harder to avoid her damage.
Tá, então, tipo assim, não ficou muito claro, mas talvez sejam 3 larvas somente, ou talvez sejam 6 larvas de uma vez, tá ligado? Ele não deixou isso claro. Mas fazendo com que isso seja mais tarde no jogo, isso faz com que a larva perca valor, porque vai ser mais tarde na laning phase, quando tem barricada. Já que split push não é tão comum, são só 3 larvas confirmado. Então larva perdeu muito, muito, muito valor e Dragon volta a ser o objetivo do jogo.
Another place
Provavelmente.
we've seen a lot of feedback on is the bounty system. One of the main issues is that it sometimes feels like you have a bounty when your team is behind. So we're
Sim.
making the objective bounty system more accurate, which should
Legal.
help bounties feel like they're only on when your team has a lead.
Legal.
Outside of objectives and bounties, we're making a small change to the jungle and support roles.
Ok.
In Champion Select, only junglers will have access to Smite, and it'll be automatically assigned. Additionally, supports will automatically be given World Atlas at load-in. Our goal is to try and reduce certain types of trolling, and
Tá.
oops, my
Acabaram com a Ivern do Yoda.
team doesn't have Smite lol lock-in failures. We're adding
Mas
the
uma boa
ability to
mudança.
swap roles in Champ Select, so you can still ask nicely to trade. And if you're an unsealed spellbook bard enjoyer, don't worry, you'll still be able to get Smite in game.
Ah, você
We
consegue
believe the
no
ability to do
livrinho.
this will discourage the pro play lane swap problem we saw in Season 1, without directly impacting the rest of us normies. Finally, we're replacing Grey Screen with a new Spectator UI, and adding killstreak sound effects that will play for your ears only when you participate in takedowns.
Uau.
We have a dev blog out now that goes into more detail about the
que é
gameplay
isso aqui,
changes that
cara?
you'll see when you load into the Rift at the start of Season 2, so be sure to check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm just a capybara, a director of product management. You can call me Drew. League is at its best
Que
when you're surrounded
essa?
by people who are positive and play their best. But when you have someone inting, griefing, or running it down for fun, it just sucks.
É.
So we're rolling out some updated systems that will better detect and punish people who want to ruin your games.
Starting
Caralho, moleque, a gente tá vendo um vídeo da Riot falando que vai melhorar o jogo? De fato? Não. Não. Não, a Riot vai melhorar o game. Não é possível. Não é possível. Isso não existe. É pegadinha. É pegadinha. Daqui a pouco eles falam que vai ter voice. Porra, aí eu não
next
acredito
patch,
mesmo.
we'll have improvements to our griefing detection systems that automatically identify and punish players for soft inting and trolling teammates.
Because some people just want
Cara, beleza. Mas eu vou cair nessa por pegar singa de bot?
to ruin games, we aren't going to share exactly what the system looks for. But it's built to detect things like running around and not contributing to avoid AFK detection, for example. Additionally, moving forward, when you receive report feedback, it will include the name of the offender, similar to how the cheating feedback notifications
Okay.
currently work.
We know that this is an area that we really have to get right. We've been doing some tests for the last few patches to make sure our number of false positives is low, and we're confident that we should see very few. We'll also continue to refine
vai ter
this
menos
updated
soft
system over
change.
time, and we'll talk about it again in another dev update.
Further out, there's more work we'd like to do around smurfing and boosting in particular. That's something that we hope TrueScale 2 can help address, which
Aí, Lost. Porra, vão foder a gente, irmão. Vão tá olhando mais pra Bush, mano. Que nem eu tô fazendo com você, jogando duo, querendo trazer pro mestre aqui, ó.
as a reminder, is a new matchmaking system
Que
that we've been
merda, hein?
trialing in some regions and modes. We also want to share some numbers from the Vanguard LP refunds that we added in patch 25.6. As of filming, we've refunded over 700,000 LP to over 30,000 unique players who had a cheater in their ranked game.
And since
Caralho.
then, around 24,000 cheaters have been successfully
Eliminated. That's a lot.
Aside from punishing players who waste your time by ruining games, we also want to take some time to thank all of you who bring positivity to League, whether it's through helpful and friendly comms, grouping for objectives, or just fist bumping each other after a great play. We're also seeing a lot of feedback on the recent changes to the honor system that we're working on. We'll be back later when we have some changes to
Tá
share
bom.
here.
We have a lot more details on these changes and some updates on changes we've
Qual
made
que é a
over the last
próxima?
few patches.
Modo treta.
All right, we want to talk a bit about modes and metagames. Like we've said before, we think it's important to consistently have ways to play League outside of standard Summoner's Rift. So, we'll be releasing a new game mode called Brawl.
Brawl
Treta.
is a 5v5 mode where you choose your champion.
Okay.
And it's played on a new map set in the whimsical Bandle City.
Bandop.
And
Cara, eu acho, olha só, eu acho esses modos de jogo, assim, eu não vi ainda como é que era direito esse, mas eu acho esses modos de jogo muito saudáveis, mano. Tipo, que nem quando volta Earth, tá ligado? Eu vejo muita gente voltando a jogar o jogo só pra jogar Earth. Aí acaba que o maluco joga uma ranked, né? Pra ver como é que tá e tal. Mas muita gente acaba voltando só pra jogar o modo.
Isso, que o atacante vai ter mais GF
Vi?
e vai ter só 3 larvinhas.
Vi.
your objective is simple. Push your minions into the enemy's base to win, and get rid of anyone who tries to stop you.
No tap.
Pera, como é que é?
Choose your champion, and it's played on a new map set in the whimsical Bandle City. And your objective is simple. Push your minions into the enemy's base to win, and get rid of anyone who tries to stop you.
No towers, no major objectives, and nothing but your base's health bar to defend. Brawl is intended to be a fun, action-packed
Isso aí é o Arena
mode
do
for
Smite,
players
pô.
who want a lower-stakes game or are looking to get
Pô, falou Smite, eu já não gosto, mano.
their friends in the league without
É
having
igual a
to deal
Arena do
with all the
Smite, não tem
complexity
torre, você
of
só leva,
SR.
mata os
Now,
inimigos,
games of
mata
Brawl
os
have
caras,
been balanced with
passa
snowball
pelo portal e dá
mechanics, so
dano
while you might
no
be down at
Nexus.
some points,
Entendi.
you're never truly out. Making it
Vou abrir
perfect for
aqui
playing
que
with
vou
friends with
daqui a
drastically
pouco.
different skill levels.
Whether you're just looking for a fun time trying to play with friends or just want non-stop action, we hope you'll give Brawl a try when it goes live in patch 2510. We can't wait to see what you think.
Pô, vou testar
Now, if
esse
you wanna
modo
learn
aí,
more
mano,
about
mas não
Brawl,
sei
check
não.
out the new
Tá me
dev
parecendo,
blog that's
tá
out
parecendo
now.
que falta alguma coisa, tá
Separately,
ligado?
though, we also want to take a moment to talk about metagames. We're coming off of the
É
Demon's
exatamente o
Hand,
Arena do
and we
Smite.
love seeing all the combos you pulled off, and that's also teaching us a lot about what has and hasn't worked with metagames that we're going to incorporate in future ones.
We will have another metagame coming out in Act 2 of the coming season. As with previous metagames, we're going to keep trying something a bit different each time. All right, we'll hand things over to the Skins team to talk about what they have planned for Season 2.
Hey everyone, I'm Steph, aka 100 Piece Nuggets.
And I'm Tom, or Riot Hylia.
100
Today, we're here
PC
to dive into
Nuggets.
Spirit Blossom
Wow.
and talk about some updates to skins in general.
So there's a lot to discuss, but first and foremost, Spirit Blossom's back, yay! We know you have a lot of fond memories of getting crushed by Cassiopeia and playing tricks with Teemo.
And the contrasting duality of the Spirit Realm just makes for really, really elegant, stunning skins.
Yeah, and this time around, we're actually expanding on Spirit Blossom with even more champions stepping into Ionian folklore. These skins are now a manifestation of the myths told during the festival, like Ashe is the Wandering Queen who guides souls to the Spirit Realm.
Or Aurelia, who is Ash's ready hand, whose unwavering loyalty led to
Caralho.
heartbreak and calamity.
She has so many hands.
No, right? You've got more than she knows what to do with. We've also got Bard, Varys, and my personal
Caralho.
favorite, Zyra, as well as Ivern and Prestige Spirit Blossom Lux, who will be
Caralho.
earnable on the
Ah, não, skin da Lux mais uma vez não, pô. Eles já estão abraçando o meme aqui, não é possível.
one paid
Huh.
pass.
Outside of Spirit Blossom, when we were looking at skins for Season 2 overall, we took a lot of learnings from Season 1.
Ah,
We
do
wanted to
Ivern
do a
ficou
better
maneiro,
job at
ficou
offering
legal.
a wider variety of skins that are focused on our champion-first philosophy. So in Season 2, we're introducing something we're calling variety skins. Standalone, one-off skins that are either from existing thematics or totally new ones tailor-made for our
Legal.
champion.
The first one will be Pool Party Twitch, which will be earnable on the
Calma aí também, né?
Act 1 paid pass. And while I'm sure some of you are thinking, what about Twitch Screams Pool Party? I mean, look at him. He's a little rat and he's got a squirt gun. He would totally cause chaos at the family barbecue.
And we gave him a little Hawaiian shirt.
No, he's so precious. He's a little baby.
He's a baby. So anyways, variety skins will give us more room to just focus on making cool skins for individual champions without needing to build them into an entire grouping of thematic skins.
We're also looking at ways to bundle variety skins together into a looser thematic of sorts, like the recent April Fool's skins. They all have the same core vibe. They're silly, they're goofy, they're fun, but realistically, they could each belong to an individual skin line, like Pool Party or Cats vs. Dogs.
We believe that this is a better balance of skins throughout the Spirit Blossom season than we were able to land with Season 1. So let us know what you think. We want to hear your thoughts on how this lands during Season 2. And finally, it's list time.
List time, yes.
So the next Exalted skin this season will be Morgana. And then for Prestige skins, we'll have Zed on the pass and
Okay.
Aphelios in the Mythic.
Ok.
That about wraps things up for
Ok.
us. As always, we would love to hear what you think.
Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Okay, that just about wraps things up for today. In case you missed it, Swift Play is now out globally, so be sure to jump in and play a few matches if you haven't already had the chance.
And while you may have recognized quite a few familiar faces in yesterday's cinematic, there is one who may look new. Yanara is our new champion
Yunara.
coming out in Act 2. We don't want to spoil more, but we'll be back before then to share more about her and her connection to the Spirit Blossoms.
And then finally, we wanted to share that in May, we'll be celebrating another pro who has made his mark on League. This player will join the Hall of Legends. He's inspired the next generation of upcoming players, and we can't wait to give him the recognition he deserves.
TT.
As always, thanks so much for watching.
Kami.
Don't forget to check out the dev blog,
Use.
and we'll see you on the Rift.
Until next time. See ya.
Tarek ou Leona aqui?
Tu que sabe, mano. Segue seu coração.
É Jana.
Cara, siga o seu coração, mano. Eu não entendi as lives. Vai ser só 3? Vai ter só 3. E aí eu não sei como é que vai ser o quesito do buff lá e tal. Mas vão ser só 3. Pô, gostei das mudanças de mecânica de jogo aqui. As mudanças de qualidade de vida aqui também, no detectação de morte intencional. Só esse modo treta aqui que eu não sei. E as skins também foram meio zoadas, eu acho. Mas um bom update. Um bom update.